It's a maelstrom. It's a cyclone of violence and anger and fear and mob mentality, and it's intense. It's really intense.
Hello all you people. The newest Halloween is out, just in time for Halloween, so I saw it, and I was disappointed. I had no grand expectations for the thing. I would have been happy with fun, tense kills set next to some pumpkins. Well, I guess that's a lie, because Halloween Kills does have that, but everything else around it makes for a god-awful time. Just getting a little sick of how corporations force their disconnected view of humans into every blockbuster movie. If you enjoy the character scenes in this film, you must watch commercials for fun. Film's been around for over 100 years now. You can watch plenty old movies and see that we've already been to the point of being able to portray at a basic level the people and society of a time. Just in the idle scenes, the essential backbone of filmmaking, the people talking and interacting parts. What will these blockbusters say about our generation to anyone in the future? It's the kind of representation that diagnoses a dystopia. Are we living in a corporate apocalypse? Because once you peel back the thin mask of unflinching, brand-approved positivity, you see the face of pure cynicism. A complete lack of evolution in keeping up with culture. Clinging to franchises from the past generation, writing the same stories, with gradually aging casts reprising their roles as 80s people. That's what my analytical side is occupied with when I'm in a theater, seeing scenes like those in Halloween Kills. And it's more unpleasant than the horror they're selling me. Like, stop being so deceitful, just be honest and have fun. It's the Halloween franchise. You cut back to flashbacks from 1978 and loyally recreated the look and feel of the period, even down to cheesy zoom-ins and the classic sharp synths. Sure seems like you had more fun doing that. Like you could just stop pretending 2021 is still your time and set the whole thing in the past. Focus entirely on the tone of spooky and violent but with a wink, and churn out a much more enjoyable film that doesn't look like a fist match between the director and studio heads. And before we get into it, know that my thoughts are extra bitter and annoyed because of the experience I had in the theater, where bitches, absolute troglodytes, fall asleep 1 minute into the movie so they can snore through it all and wake up to talk in Portuguese. Seriously, for a couple of the first minutes I actually thought they were doing the sound effect of Michael breathing while POV stalking people, but somehow just horribly performed and mixed. So fucking yeah, the setting took a movie that was consistently peeving me off and amplified it. Boomers are so fucking lame. These franchises jerking themselves off are lame. Whoa, it's Laurie Strode.
I'm Laurie Strode! You sheep!
There are like 10 shots zooming in on name tags and shit to be like, oh fuck, it's the Ting! Not even mentioning dialogue that also does the same.
Yeah, I mean, your grandmother is Laurie Strode.
Michael Myers is alive. We're closed.
Do you have a gun?
I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
Antonio Soprano.
I guess Green tried to connect Myers' boogeyman effect on the town to the coronavirus pandemic. Tried to. Of course you're not going to get to fulfill that working in this wholly untouchable franchise from 40 years ago. I don't care enough about this movie to create 2 tracks of review for non-spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, just click off now and know that I didn't enjoy Halloween Kills. The franchise is killing itself, much like Haddonfield. My only hope is that the next film, the conclusion to this trilogy, ends in total surrealism, with the whole town being sucked into an implosion like Poltergeist. Or maybe like Twin Peaks: The Return, where the reboot is illustrated as a doomed delusion and the universe turns itself inside out, or whatever the fuck happened in that. The perfect send-off to a franchise that has never justified itself with a single good sequel to the original. That would be epic. The kills were seriously great though. When the garbage people scenes stop and it becomes suspenseful murder, it's good. It's so straightforward and machinic that the part of it wanting to be campy and ridiculous fails. People react to seeing their loved ones slaughtered in front of them, and their ghoulish killer standing right there, by reciting lines for the trailer. Imagine a senseless act of extreme violence that can leave your mind shattered, fused with the pure flight or fight response, produces what? Michael, you've come home. Shut the fuck up. I'm so happy they all died at the end. Like, I'm celebrating, I'm throwing a party in my head, cheering on as they all get slaughtered. And I think Green is trying to add enough satire that is an actual earned response, but the movie doesn't agree. These are totally cool Everyman USA characters, yo. Now, on the COVID commentary. Yeah, you know there's a lack of direction when you can't tell what the commentary is? I don't know what you intended, but in a visual medium like film, recurring imagery of health workers falling downstairs, joining a mob, getting shoved over, and shooting themselves in the face gives off a vibe of hatred towards them. And the thought that the Halloween movie about not giving into fear might have been made by an anti-vaxxer truly frightens me. At least now that the body fodder of a cast was disposed with, the sequel can finally do what Universal so badly wants and create a shot-for-shot remake of the original. Just Laurie and Michael and CGI Loomis battling it out. Technically, the movie is unspectacular. Most shots are so unnecessarily close up it makes it look very cheap. You know, having a spooky film set in Haddonfield on Halloween opens the door for tons of classic atmosphere. Extreme close-ups remove atmosphere. What are you doing? The kills were the one part where effort was clearly put in.
Every kill is its own character.
They feel violent, are accompanied by brutal sound design, and are shot with care to clearly communicate what is going on and how intense it is. The first murder in the trailer looked so stupid, but in the film was actually effective, to my surprise. This lady is mercilessly stabbed in the throat with a shard and sits there dying as Michael just stabs knife after knife into her husband as she watches. Later into the night, a man dies from a high fall and it looks disturbingly accurate, like a really gross sight you are not supposed to be looking at. The only glaring issue is Michael himself, namely his physical performance. Yes, he's supposed to be very old at this point, but he's just so awkward in how he moves, it makes it hard to believe he's outperforming these firemen and younger people. Also, there's something muddled about making Michael a symbolic figure, an undying threat, while also flaunting his physical age. So yeah, Halloween Kills isn't the most embarrassing Halloween installment, but that's what makes it the most forgettable. It's boring. It's straightforward, but not straightforward enough, foregoing an obscene ratio of murder to drama that would make it stand out for meandering stock footage. I give it a 3 out of 10. Find a kill count video online for a truer throwback slasher experience.
I'm in a beach flip. I'm in a lean flip. I'm in a beach flip. I'm in a lean flip. I'm in a beach flip. I'm in a lean flip. I'm in a beach flip. I'm in a lean flip. I'm in a beach flip. I'm in a lean flip. I'm in a beach flip. I'm in a lean flip.